Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to our online classes. Now we are going to see the second part of the first supplement reader. God sees the truth but waits, written by Leo Tolstoy. Now we are going to see the paragraph. Then she treated children to her and sat down near him. She told him of things at home and asked about what had happened to him, and he told her all. And she asked, "What can we do now? We must petition the Shah not to let an innocent man perish." His wife told him that she had sent a petition to Shah, but it had not been accepted. Actiono did not reply, but only looked downcast. Then his wife said, "It was not for nothing I trimmed your hair had turned grey. You remember? You should not have started that day." And passing her finger through his hair, she said, "Pania, dearest, tell your wife the truth. Was it not you who did it? So you too suspect me?" said Actiono. And hiding his face in his hands, he began to weep. Then a soldier came to say that his wife and children must go away. And Actiono said goodbye to his family for the last time. When they were gone, Actiono recalled what had been said, and when he remembered that his wife also had suspected him, he said to himself, "It seems that only God can know the truth. It is to him alone we must appeal, and from him alone expect mercy." Actiono wrote no more petition, gave up all hope, and only prayed to God. Actiono was condemned to be flogged and sent to the mines, so he was flogged with a knot, and when the wounds made by the knot were healed, he was driven to the Siberia with the other convicts. For 26 years, Actiono lived as a convict in Siberia. His hair turned white as snow, and his beard grey, long, thin, and grey. All his mirth went. He stooped. He walked slowly, spoke little, and never laughed, but he often prayed. In the prison, Actiono learned to make boots and earned a little money with which he bought the lives of the Jains. He read this book when there was light enough. in the prison, and on Sundays in the prison church, he read the lessons and sang in the soul, for his voice was still good. Let us see the explanation. She told him that she had already sent petition to the Shah, but it was rejected. Then she passed her finger through his hair and requested him to tell the truth. Actiono could not fear the thought that his wife did not believe him. He hid his face in his hands and began to weep. When they were gone, Actiono lost all hope. Actiono was condemned to flogged with a knot. When the wounds were healed, he was sent to Siberia with the other convict. For 26 years, Actiono lived as a convict in Siberia. His hair turned white. He lost all his hopes. He never laughed, but often prayed. He bought a book titled the lives of the saints. He went to prison church on Sunday and sang in the shore. ஆக்சினோனுடைய மனைவி அவனிடம், இப்பொழுது நாம் என்ன செய்வது என்பதை பற்றி இருவரும் யோசிக்கின்றார்கள். அப்பொழுது ஆக்சினோ ஷார் என்பவர் அந்த நாட்டினுடைய அரசனை குறிக்கக்கூடிய சொல் ஷார் என்பவருக்கு நாம் ஒரு மன்னிப்பு கடிதத்தை கொடுத்தால் அவர் நம்மை விடுவிப்பதற்கு வாய்ப்புண்டு என்று ஆக்சினோ கூறுகின்றான். அதற்கு அவனுடைய மனைவி ஏற்கனவே தான் அவருக்கு கடிதம் எழுதிவிட்டதாகவும் அந்த கடிதம் நிராகரிக்கப்பட்டதாகவும் கூறுகின்றான். இதனை கேட்ட ஆக்சினோ மனமுடைந்து செய்வதறியாமல் திகைத்து நிற்கின்றான். அப்பொழுது அவனுடைய மனைவி தான் முன் கிளம்பும் பொழுது தான் கூறியதை அவனுக்கு நினைவுபடுத்துகின்றால். நினைவுபடுத்திவிட்டு அவனிடம் ஒரு கேள்வியையும் கேட்கின்றாள். நான் உங்களுடைய மனைவி, என்னிடமாவது உண்மையை கூறுங்கள் என்று அவனிடம் கூறுகின்றாள். அதற்கு அவன், நீயுமா என்னை சந்தேகிக்கின்றாய் என்று கூறி மிகுந்த மனவேதனை அடைகின்றான். அப்பொழுது சிறைத்துறை அதிகாரிகள் வந்து அவளையும் அவளுடைய குழந்தைகளையும் வெளியேறும்படி கட்டளையிடுகின்றனர். அவர்கள் இருவரும் அவனிடமிருந்து கடைசியாக விடைபெற்று செல்கின்றனர். ஆக்சினோ கண்டெம்ட் டு ஃப்ளாக்ட். ஆக்சினோவுக்கு கசையடி மூலம் தண்டனை கொடுக்கப்படுகின்றது. நாட் என்பது முடிச்சுக்களுடன் இருக்கக்கூடிய கசை. பிளாக்டு மீன்ஸ் ஃபீட். அதாவது அவனை அடித்து அந்த காயங்கள் ஆறியதற்கு பிறகு அவனை சைபீரியாவிற்கு அனுப்புகின்றார்கள். அந்த சைபீரிய சிறை மிகவும் ஒரு கொடுமையான ஒரு சிறையாகும். அங்கு குளிர்காலத்தில் மிகவும் குளிராகவும் வெப்பமான காலங்களில் வெப்பம் அதிகமாகவும் இருக்கும். உலகத்திலேயே மிகவும் ஒரு மோசமான படுபயங்கரமான ஒரு சிறைச்சாலை என்பது சைபீரியா. அங்கு அவனை மற்ற கன்விக்ட் மீன்ஸ் மற்ற குற்றவாளிகளுடன் சேர்த்து சைபீரியாவுக்கு அனுப்புகின்றார்கள். அங்கே அவன் தன்னுடைய 26 வருஷங்கள் அந்த சிறைச்சாலையிலேயே வசிக்கின்றான். அவனுடைய முடி வெளுத்து போகின்றது, அவனுடைய தாடி வளர்ந்து விடுகின்றது. அதுபோக அவன் மிர்த் என்றால் இந்த இடத்தில் மகிழ்ச்சி, அவனுடைய மகிழ்ச்சி முற்றிலுமாக சிதைந்து போகின்றது. அவன் சிரிப்பதை நிறுத்திவிட்டான், பேசுவதை குறைத்து விட்டான். அவன் கடவுளை தொழுவதை தவிர வேறு எதையும் அவன் இப்பொழுது செய்வதில்லை. ஆக்சினோ சிறைச்சாலையில் பூட்ஸ் எவ்வாறு தயாரிப்பது என்பதை பற்றி கற்றுக்கொள்கின்றான். அதன் மூலம் அவனுக்கு சில வருமானங்கள் கிடைக்கின்றது. அதை வைத்து ஒரு லிவ்ஸ் ஆஃப் த ஜெயின் என்ற ஒரு புத்தகத்தை வாங்கி, லிவ்ஸ் ஆஃப் த ஜெயின்ஸ் என்றால் துறவிகளினுடைய வாழ்க்கை என்ற அந்த புத்தகத்தை அவன் படிக்கின்றான். அதை படிக்கும் பொழுது அவனுடைய இதயம், அவனுடைய மனது லேசாவதை அவன் உணர்கின்றான். எவ்ரி சண்டே அவன் சர்ச்சுக்கு சென்று அங்கு இந்த நூலை படிப்பதிலும் அதுபோல அங்கே பாடுவதிலும் தன்னுடைய காலங்களை கழிக்கின்றான். அவனுடைய குரல் மிகவும் நன்றாக இருந்தது. The prison authority liked Actiono for his meekness, and his fellow prisoner respected him. They called him grandfather, the saint. When they wanted to the petition the prison authority about anything, they always made Actiono their spokesman. When there were a quarrel among the prisoner, they came to him to put things right and to judge the matter. Underline the word meekness. Meekness என்றால் மிகவும் சாதுவாக, ஆக்ஷனோ மிகவும் சாதுவாக மாறிவிடுகின்றான். பிரிசனர் ரெஸ்பெக்டட் ஹிம், அவனுக்கு அங்கிருக்கக்கூடிய கைதிகள் மிகுந்த மரியாதை அளிக்கின்றார்கள். அது மட்டுமில்லை, அவனை கிராண்ட்ஃபாதர் என்றும் த செயின்ட் துறவி என்றும் அழைக்கின்றார்கள். அவர்களுக்குள் ஏதாவது ஒரு பிரச்சனை ஏற்பட்டால் அதை தீர்த்து வைக்கக்கூடிய நிலையிலும், அதுபோல பிரிசன் அத்தாரிட்டியிடம் ஏதாவது தேவை என்றால் அவர்களிடம் சென்று பேசுவதற்கு, பிரிசனர் சார்பாக பேசுவதற்கு உரிய ஸ்போக் மேனாக ஆக்ஷனோ இருக்கின்றான். No news reached Actiono from his home, and he did not even know if his wife and children were still alive. One day, a fresh gang of the convict came to the prison. In the evening, the old prisoner collected round the new ones and asked them what towns or village they came from and what they were sentenced for. Among the rest, Actiono sat down near the newcomers and listened with downcast air to what was said. One of the new convicts, a tall and strong man of 60, with closely and cropped and grey beard, was telling the others what he had been arrested for. Well, friends, he said, I only took a horse that was tied to a sledge. Underline the word sledge. Sledge என்பது குதிரை வண்டி. And I was arrested and accused of stealing, and I said I had only taken it to get home quicker and had then let it go. Besides, the driver was a personal friend of mine. So I said, that's all right. No, said they, you stole it. But how or where I stole it, they could not say. I once really did something wrong and ought to by rights to have come here long ago. But that mind, I was not found out. Now I have been sent here from nothing at all. Yeah, but it is a lie I am telling you. I have been to Siberia before, but I did not stay long. And where are you from? Asked someone. From Vladimir. My family are of the town. My name is Walker, and they also call me Semenoj. Actiono raised his head and said, tell me, Semenoj, do you know anything of the merchants Actiono of Vladimir? Are they still alive? No of them? Of course I do. The Actiono are rich, though their father is in Siberia, a signer like ourselves, it seems. As for you, Grantard, how did you come here? Actiono did not like to speak of his misfortune. He only sighed and said, for my sins I have seen in prison these 26 years. What sin? Asked Marker Semenoj. But Actiono only said, well, I must have deserved it. He would have said no more, but his companions told the newcomer how Axino came to be in Siberia, how someone had killed a merchant and had put the knife among the Axino things, and Axino had been unjustly condemned. When Maximinos heard this, I looked at Axino and slapped his own ears and exclaimed, Well, this is wonderful, really wonderful. But how old you have grown, granddad? The other asked him why he was so surprised and where he had seen Axino before, but Maximinos did not reply. He only said, It's a wonderful that we should meet here late. Let us see the explanation. The Axino became me. So the prison authority liked him. His fellow prisoner called him grandfather and the saint. The Axino became their spokesman and he settled their quarrels. One day, a fresh gang of the convict came to the prison. One of them was tall, strong man of 60. He said that he was accused of stealing horses. He said he did not really steal the horse, but he ought to have come to the prison earlier for a crime he had really committed a long ago. The convict mocker, people called him Siminoj. When the mocker said that he came from Vladimir, Axino asked him what about his family. The Seminoles said that Axino were rich, but their father was in Siberia. When the Seminoles made inquiry about the old man, Axino did not tell him anything, but the other convict disclosed everything about how he was unjustly condemned. On hearing this, Maximinos was filled with surprise. He exclaimed that Axino had grown very old. Now the other convict asked him whether he had seen Axino before, but Siminos gave an evasive reply. He looked at Axino and asked how anyone could have put a knife into his back and while it was under his head. On hearing this, Axino felt sure that it was a Maximinos who committed the crime.